All right, thought I'd talk a little bit about Saving Gabe. Saving Gabe, that's the second book I'm writing. The first one was Waking Anton, used Chat GPT for it. The rough draft on that one took about 8 hours. I was really happy with it. So when I sat down to start working on Saving Gabe, I started off in the same process. You know, I walked around out here and I talked about the characters, I talked about the locations, talked about the general plot ideas, did all of that, and I created all those background docs I use. So I had a background doc for characters, a background doc for the locations, kind of story lore doc. Also, the most important one was the chapter list doc that also had the scene breakdown. Okay, that's scene by scene what we want to see in each and every chapter. Lists out the characters that are there, the location of the scene, action of the scene, the purpose of the scene, why we're actually having that particular scene, how it contributes to the plot. So all that's kind of in our little breakdown. And I did all that the same way that I did with Waking Anton. So that process went really smooth, really fast. And so I thought, you know, maybe I can do this better, do it different. So I tried a different methodology, got through the rough draft on the first 7 chapters, went really pretty smooth. Got to chapter 8, ran into an issue. It seems the newer method I was using, I had thrown so much information at it that it was starting to slow down, lock up, and then it was losing its place. So that methodology didn't work. And I ended up spending about maybe 3 hours just trying to get those first 8 chapters out. Now the first 7 didn't take hardly any of that time. I spent most of it trying to get it to cooperate again on chapter 8. So the next weekend, I sat down and thought, all right, I'm gonna see if I can't figure out this methodology here, you know, this new idea I've got. Couldn't get it to work out because it's the same problem. You're throwing too much information at it, too much. So what I ended up doing was I went into the playground and I created an assistant. And rather than using a custom GPT, I just set up an assistant in there, put all of my prompting stuff, and then I preloaded all of my working files. You know, before I even started my chat, I went ahead and put my character list, my location list, my chapter outlines. I went ahead and put all of that into the GPT, into the assistant. So once I got that done, I went to go write the next chapter and I told it, you know, hey, we're getting ready to write chapter 9. Go ahead, look up all the characters, all your information. Take a look at our scene list. And I did kind of the same thing I did with Waking Anton, where I said, okay, here's the scene list, our outline. Do you have any questions? Is there any information you need? And it would give me 3 or 4 questions. I would answer those questions with as much depth as I could. And the way I would do that is I would record it on my notes on my phone, and then I would just email the transcript to myself, paste the transcript in as the answers. So it would take those and it would kick out the chapter. And I'll tell you, I barely have to change but like 3 or 4 words most of the time using that method. There was one scene I had it completely rewrite because it didn't quite get the idea, but when it asks you those questions, that's your opportunity and chance to really take control of the narrative that it's writing, really control the style, the flow, the pacing, really get into that character backstory, and you can describe to it what you're wanting to see as you're seeing. And when you do that, you have a pretty high chance of getting back something high quality that you're really going to like. I mean, you might want to make a few little tweaks, add your special sauce to it, but that seemed to be a pretty solid methodology. So I only did about 5 or 6 chapters that way, past what I had done before. So I feel pretty good that I can at least do a lot more in one big chunk like that, and it's progressive. So I've probably put in about 3-4 hours doing that, and I think I can finish all this up probably in the next weekend, maybe the weekend after that. Whenever I get like 3 or 4 hours, I think I can sit down and finish out Waking Gabe like that. So that's kind of the process I used to get Waking Gabe going, and I learned that my newer idea, while it was faster to get started and flowing on things, it didn't work out. So I think doing the assistant thing, I think that might be the best way to kick this out. And I'll let you know. When I get Saving Gabe done, we'll kind of compare between the 2 methods I used and see what really works out the best in the long run. Thanks.